Now, you just saying all kind of crazy stuff on my site, right? On my channel, right? And here's the point. I don't have age star, right? Where I can tell a girl's age if she's 16 or not, right? See, I normally, like I told you before, don't really approach women or girls, right? And I'm more out there in the afternoon, not late at night, right? When girls are out of school. So what the hell are you talking about? In the first damn place. A delusion is not just because someone's mentally ill. You could be mentally ill and not even treated for it, retard. You're seeming to be thinking that, right? Don't mean I am, right? I keep telling you that too. My thoughts aren't your thoughts. So did Jesus say the same thing to the scribes and Pharisees, right? And chief priests. And Sadducees. And lawyers. Types, right? All the religious crowd around him, right? See, religion can get you entrapped by Satan the same as anything else, right? In fact, he uses religious people more than he can use sinners, because obviously you know when a sinner does wrong, right? They're going to get caught, right? Problem is, the wolf in sheep's clothing doesn't look like a wolf. It really has the fur of a sheep, right? And it might even be, in appearance, a sheep. But the sheep that leaves the fold into the wolf, right? Or unto the wolf, if you know what I mean, is the sheep in wolf's clothing. Right? Right? Or the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? What does that mean? Well, the sheep also doesn't care. Like the wolf don't care, right? If he or the other sheep are eaten, right? That's kind of the point, if you understand, right? The sheep that don't care if it's eaten by the wolf or not, don't know there's a wolf out there, right? And why is it a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? If it's that kind of sheep, right? Well, that would mean literally, if you take it literally, you either are draping a sheep's wool, right, and skin over a wolf, or the sheep itself is leading the flock to the wolf, right? And because it's not caring for its brothers and sisters, right, it is the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Another way. Now, when I see a pretty girl, I just say hi, bye, whatever, normal conversation, right? If it gets to the age of the person, why would you lie about that? Yeah, and you're not listening either, right? Because I'm trying to get you in trouble for working in your dad's store at 15, or I didn't know you're the one I was even talking about, right? See, that's the point too, right? When you're listening to other people about someone you don't know and they're wrong about the person, right? They help you make the same mistake I made, right? Believing your story, right? So you're believing their story. That was the problem. Yeah. Not me believing yours, right? I didn't know they were talking about you, silly. I can't assume it meant you just because your name is Michelle either, right? That's called a coincidence, but at the time I'm not thinking you're trying to do me wrong, right? Or you're the one I'm talking to on the internet, or they're talking to me about you if it's you, right? How would I know it was you they were talking about? Your name is Michelle too? That's taking a coincidence in my life, right? Another girl named Michelle. And seeing if she'll sleep with me. Because she's really 15 and doing something wrong, right? Has to lie to me about her age, right? And then you doing it anyway, and me not knowing you were even the girl I was talking to, right? Or talking about, right? Or they were talking about themselves, right? It all applies, right? Whatever you want to pretend, right? Now, if someone has a mental defect, meaning I started hearing voices in 93, right? You can't treat me like I'm a normal adult anymore. Even with the 19-year-old that was about considered a 5-year-old by the courts, right? Her body is that of a grown woman, right? And the thing is, I don't know, right, how to say to her, right, or tell her no if she comes into the bedroom and wants sex with me, right? Do you understand the difference, though, right? The body isn't that of a 5-year-old. Michelle was over 19, right? Or at least 19, right? And that was still when I was just shortly out the Navy anyway, right? But I met her too, right? I was still dating Mary Bell, of course, but I was about 26. whatever, right? And I have a defect that's different than hers, but we didn't just casually, I didn't just casually hump her. I'm doing things with her that I did with Mary Bell, you know what I mean, right? That Mary Bell liked. And she's 19 or 18, right? But she's still legal, right? In Virginia, right? So what's the difference, right? I'm not sure, though, right, if I should keep staying with her. I get a little worried about her being considered by her family, not 19, but a kid, right, by the court. So I also wonder, well, should I date her anymore? And we just had sex twice. And she's supposed to be on birth control. So I don't think she's just going to miss her birth control pills, right? Though I don't know she didn't need it, right? You know, right? Well, we're at Donna's both time we had sex, silly. And each one was the night before, right? During the night, right? And I do remember it, right? But I don't know if she's doing someone else, but, right? I'm not saying that either, right? I'm not trying to accuse her. I'm not saying she's a slut because she was a virgin, but, right? But we were together twice both time at Donna's, right? And I did basically the same thing both times, so, right? I know. Which is, I kiss, I suck the boobs, I lick the pussy, I do the finger thing with her, right? And came in her twice, right? Mm-hmm. I believe so, right? And I don't think she really expressed an interest to get on top, but okay, right? But she's also a woman in her own understanding, you know what I mean? Even if her mom sees her as a kid at 5 years old, right? It don't mean she wants to be seen that way anymore, right? If you understand what I mean, right? So that's the point too, right? And she didn't look, again, she's taller than me, right? So she's at least 6 foot something, right? Or 5'11", 6 foot, right? When I'm with her, right? So she didn't at all look like a child, right? But again, I have the mental defect since 93, right? I'm not sure what to do with her. I'm not trying to, take advantage, but there again, she's not a virgin at 5, or 19, whatever you want to call it, legally, right? It wasn't her first time, right? Or so she said, right? So I didn't really worry so much, right, about that incident, right, either. But I remember being with her and making love to her, and she said I did everything, like I said before, right? And she kind of didn't complain, right? Right? I never had any complaints that I'm aware of, silly, right? Okay.